And happy Tuesday to you all. DK Show coming to you from the TDS Sports Talk Studios this morning. A big thanks for making us a part of your starts, whether you are listening to us on the radio dials of 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Also available to at sports105.com. Got your smart devices, like your Alexa devices, got the app. You can download that, take it on the go as well. Got the video stream up and rolling on YouTube. I'm toying with something here with YouTube or with the video stream. Gonna put it up on Facebook and YouTube. So just toying with it right now. Gonna be kind of hit or miss here. So bear with me as I try to get out there a little bit, little stream it out there a little bit more. Still want to grow the YouTube page, so if you're listening, appreciate a quick like or a quick subscribe. Ring that bell on the YouTube page. Okay, so if you could do that, that would be great. But we're going to try it up here a little bit on the Facebook page here too. So it looks a little bit different. Just bear with me. All right. Trying to do this on the fly, trying to multitask here, just a skill. So, but anyways, what do we have on our game plan for us this morning? Brewers are going to be back at it tonight as they take on the New York Mets. So we'll preview that game one of this series. So that's coming your way. We've got Kyle Harrison, who's going to be on the mound here for the Brew Crew. So we'll preview that as he looks for his first, or excuse me, 11th win on the season. So we'll take a look at that game. The Brewers opening up this Tuesday. I guess it's their first week, or the opening up the week here since they didn't play yesterday. But the Cubs inched a little bit closer with their win over the Diamondbacks last night. So I think we're kind of at that point that we're starting to do a little scoreboard watching, starting to pay a little attention to that. So we'll uh, we'll take a look at that and preview that game coming up here later on. Also on the docket here, we're talking a little green and gold. Packers final, the final public practice will be tomorrow. If you do plan on going, just a quick note that they did change it. All right, they changed it to 11:30 practice. So just in case you were heading out there and wanted to go check out practice for one more time, but nonetheless, if well, we're going to take a look at the question I want to throw out there. So something else I'm trying to do here too is I know not everybody's going to be up and at it early on in the morning. So every night on our Facebook pages on social media, I'm going to throw out a question. I'm going to call it tailgate because it's a tailgate before games, right? And the question that I threw out last night is kind of a topic that we're going to be hitting up here today. And that is since we're pretty much done with training camp, we got a closed practice today. We've got, open one tomorrow, the joint one with the Cardinals, and then the final preseason game. But is there anything that you feel better about? Is there anything that you maybe feel worse about, position player wise, or position group wise, player wise? Is there anybody or anything that you feel better or worse about since, we're just a few days away from wrapping up this training camp? Got a few of you already that chimed in, so I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. But if you haven't yet, go hit me up with a quick text on that Shoe Doctor's bullpen line. That's 715-830-1912, or you can comment on the Section 105 chat too. So think about that for a little bit. Is there anybody or any position group that maybe you feel better or worse about? You've already, chimed in on the, Facebook post there, so big thanks to that. So we'll get to that coming up here in just a little bit. So we've got Brewers chat, we've got Packers chat. We're gonna catch up with RJ Cardinal coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. It's been a hot minute since we caught up with RJ, but now it's Badger time. We got Badger football kicking off next week. Badger volleyball has been in action. I mean, there's a lot going on in the college world too, as we are well aware of and probably don't like, but that's how the cookie crumbles, right? So, but we'll take a look at that, and we'll catch up with RJ about 8:20 here this morning. Also on the docket, it is a Tuesday, so what's grinding your gears, peeps? What is grinding your gears? Get it off your chest. Make it sports related, though. Okay. So you can also let us know what the heck is grinding your gears this morning. Brought to you by our good friends from Wisco Sports. So that's kind of your game plan for us this morning. Let's pitter pattern. Let's get at her, shall we? We'll take our first break and get things rocking and a rolling here this morning. Let's open it up talking a little football because a few of you have already are letting me know your thoughts on what you feel good about and what you feel bad. If you got one or the other, you gotta feel good about something. You gotta feel probably poor about something. I mean, don't all be just, like, all down in the dumps. There's gotta be something you feel good about, and there's probably something that you feel maybe worse about or don't feel great about. Did anything from this training camp season solidify something for you or maybe kinda surprise you? Let me know. Alright? There's gotta be something, right? Gotta be. So, let's get at it. We'll take our first break, and then the leadoff. Talk a little football to open up things here this quarter. We'll be right back in just a couple of School is back in session for some. It's going to be here for others. Sorry, kids, if you're listening. And just as a reminder, yeah, it's coming here if you're not already back at school. But nonetheless, that means the house is maybe finally getting a little quieter for the parents, for the adults. But after a summer of kids, pets, muddy shoes, sports equipment, and everything else that comes with a busy family, your floors, they might be ready for a fresh start as well. This back to school season, give your home an upgrade with Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire. Whether you're looking for new carpet, luxury, vinyl planks like some rigid max flooring, Carpet City Flooring Center has flooring options for every room, every style, and every budget. While the kids are back in the classroom, make a little time for your home. Stop by Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire and let their flooring experts help you find the perfect look for your space. Carpet City Flooring Center, helping you put your best floor forward. Visit Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today and get your back to school home makeover started. All right. So throughout that question, as you know, open it up, change it up a little bit. We didn't have a Brewers game last night. We do have a Brewers game tonight, so we'll preview that here in just a little bit as we get set for Kyle Harrison to make his start, looking for his 11th win on the season. But had practice yesterday. Packers had practice yesterday. Brandon Cisse was back at practice, so that's good. Had that little bit of a bang up knee injury on Friday night's game against Denver, but he was out there, so fingers crossed, nothing too serious. I would imagine it's not if he was already out there. So good news there, right? Sounds like Hargrave was dominating in one-on-ones, and it also sounds like that Keyshawn Nixon had himself a really good practice yesterday. Sounds like that's the case. So there you have it. But with us kind of um, wrapping up the rest of training camp this week and taking a look at wrapping up training camp this week, we've got the final preseason game coming up this Friday. I want to ask you all, who are some players that after this whole summer, after this camp, after this preseason, I know we got one more game left, but still, is there any players or is there any position groups that maybe you feel better about or you feel worse about? Who do you have? Who's on that list for you? I threw that out last night as part of our new thing I'm gonna try to do every night, and that's post up a question for people who maybe not up right away so that they can participate, and a few responses were, Brian said cornerback, like the rookie Cisse. Running back Lloyd has been healthy, looked good in the game. K-Smack, or Kicker Smack, Trey Smack. Wide receiver and Love look to be on the same page. Watch out, NFL. Dave said Smack is the obvious choice. Offensive line has a chance to be better than I thought they would be. Still worried about the pass rush with no Parsons. Doug, special teams appears to be much improved. Eric said, I don't feel good about the O-line. I think those issues bled into the play calling last year, and it's going to be a problem again. Timothy said, D-line worries me until Parsons can get back. Also worried about the tight end position depth, and Tucker contract won't get settled before week one. David said the offensive line. Then on the stream, Bo said running back and O-line is concerning. Also kicking and the quarterback good. So all good options, all good stuff. And yeah, kind of. I think the easy one here, as somebody mentioned, is you probably feel pretty good, or you probably feel better. That might be the best way to say it. You probably feel better about the kicking, right? You probably feel better about the kicking situation. And I would be right there with you. I'd be right there with you. Trey Smack, it's such a weird thing because, yes, practice has been a little bit up and down, but then you get to the games and he's kicked in these like tough stadiums and is just nailed I mean, he's not just squeaking them through. Guy has been accurate as all heck, dead accurate. Just it's been like, wow, and you can see the, the enthusiasm from his team and his teammates and his coaching staff. So, yeah, I feel better about Trey Smack. Now, because we are sports fans and we like to overreact, if we get to a week in the regular season, it's been a struggle, we'll probably, revert back to not feeling great about him at all because that's what we do as sports fans. So, but yeah, for me personally, Trey Smack is definitely on there. From what I witnessed, from what I watched with my own 2 eyes at practice and just kinda reading some of the other reports and following along, I I am a little bit more optimistic this year about Van Ness. The thing is, I don't know if we're gonna see Van Ness play to that potential until maybe Micah Parsons comes back. And I say that because I don't know I don't know what kind of and I know a couple of you have mentioned, pass rush still concerns you without Micah. Who is Barron Sorrell? It's kinda been up in the air. Colin Oliver, he didn't practice yesterday, he was banged up. Brenton Cox Jr., because if you are the Vikings or the Jets or whoever you're gonna be playing the first few weeks of the season, and you're the offense, who are you gonna be kind of gearing up for protection without Micah? The focus is gonna go to number 90, Van Ness. So, while I like what I have seen from practice, he looks leaner, he looks faster. I don't know if we are going to necessarily see what he can really do at a high level until maybe Micah's back. Defensive line, I will say, not I'm not counting edge rushers. So take the edge rushers off. I'm talking defensive tackles here. I actually do feel a little bit better about that. I do feel cautiously optimistic about that group. And a big part of it is because of the emergence of Hargrave has only practiced in a limited amount of time, and he's been Wyatt's back, so we kinda knew those guys, but Chris McKellen has been emerging, Anthony Campbell, we talked about quite a bit yesterday, Jonathan Ford. I know it's a lot to ask from those guys, a little bit unknowns, undrafted guys, et cetera, but we've been hearing some good stuff, and we've seen some good stuff. So I'm a little bit better, or I feel a little bit better about the defensive tackles. Again, not counting the edge rushers, so I shouldn't say D-line, I probably should just say the defensive tackle. Feel a little bit better about that. Corner, the cornerback group is interesting because I feel better about Brandon Cisse. And one guy that has been really impressive in camp so far this year, and especially as of late, has been Kamal Hadd. But when Javon Bullard is back, are we gonna see Kamal Haddon on the field? Because Kamal Haddon has been really good at the nickel spot. So I feel better about Brandon Cisse because I didn't really know what to expect from him as a second round rookie and a big time contributor. However, I still don't feel great about Keyshawn Nixon, even though he had a good practice yesterday, Carrington Valentine, and Benjamin St-Juste has been, a little bit up and down, and he was banged up, didn't practice yesterday. So that one's kind of indifferent, a little indifferent. And then the offensive line. And I think for the offensive line, I'm probably still status quo. I'm probably still there. I feel good about the ends. I feel good about Zebok. I feel good about Morgan. The guard thing is just it's so up in the air. You know, is Aaron Banks gonna stay healthy? Is Aaron Banks gonna play better than what he did last year? Jacob Monk is going to be the starter. It sure seems like Jacob Monk is gonna be the starter at right guard. You know, Monk has been with the team for the last couple years, and now he's gonna be a starter. It's like, okay, great that it looks like, sounds like he has grown and he's gotten better. We have seen offensive linemen do that during their time in Green Bay. They've kind of waited their turn and bada bing, bada boom, they're in. TJ Lang's a great example of that. But still kind of an unknown. And we got Jagger Burton. He's a rookie. He's showed promise, but he's gonna be a little inconsistent in his rookie year, and he's kind of been that way so far in preseason. He's been great. He's showed what he can do, but there's been some ups and downs with him. So I'm probably still status quo when it comes to the offensive line, just because and it's specifically with the guard. And I hear you, the rest of you that chimed in about, tight ends, I agree. The loss of Lucas Musgrave, I always say Lucas Musgrave because I always combine him and Van Ness together for whatever reason. But Musgrave, now, was he at Tucker Craft level? No. He is a different tight end than Tucker Craft, but I was still intrigued about the possibility of, you know, 2 tight end sets, and he's more of the seam pass catching one. Without him now, the question is, who's next? Especially if Tucker Craft is gonna be on a pitch count or a snap count to open up the season. So, that now I don't feel great about. I don't feel great about the depth outside of Tucker Craft. So, long story short, I guess, going back to the question or the topic is, are there position groups that maybe you feel a little bit better about after watching, following along in training camp and preseason, and some that you feel worse about? Yeah, and it's probably 50-50 in a lot of areas. Like, I feel worse about tight end depth. I feel worse about the guard situation on offensive line. I feel better about Brandon Cisse, but maybe I feel and Kamal Hadden, but I feel worse about the other corners. Feel good about the kicker. I feel good about Zaire Franklin and Edgerrin Cooper too. Zaire Franklin, new guy. I think we all kind of expected, you know, Edgerrin Cooper to be a good player, but Zaire Franklin coming in, he has looked really good. I feel better about that too. So it's a little bit of a mixture. But when it's all said and done, it's what matters in the regular season. It's what you do in the regular season, right? I'll talk a little bit more about, the corners here, so let's take a quick break. Back with a little bit more green and gold talk coming up after these few words. If you're from Wisconsin, you know there is something special about this time of year. The days, they're getting a little shorter, the evenings, they're starting to cool off a little bit, even the mornings here too. So that means hunting season will be here. And that means now is the time to get your gear ready, whether you need a new firearm, ammunition, maybe some optics. Go visit our good friends at Tilden Gun. Make them your first stop because the folks at Tilden Gun aren't just there to help sell you equipment, they're hunters too. They know what works, they're happy to answer your questions, and they'll help make sure you're ready long before opening morning arrives. So don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Tilden Gun, get geared up, and start counting down the days to another great Wisconsin fall. Tilden Gun, helping Wisconsin hunters make the most of every season. Happy hunting and good luck this fall. Hey, also, we got, something new here. If you go to or if you go to the, Sports Talk 105.1 Facebook page, starting now, you can vote for a team of the week. It's the Superior Auto Body Team of the Week. So again, just go to the Sports Talk 105.1 Facebook page, and you'll probably have to scroll down just a little bit, but you'll see the logo there and the link to vote. And right now, got three teams up there: Colfax football, who snapped a 26 game losing streak; Fall Creek football, who picked up a win over Altoona; and Lake Holcomb football with a 36 to nothing win over Winter Birch, with the most points in the game since 2023. Got to give a shout out to our guy Brandon Berg for the info and for sending over some of the nominations. We're gonna do this every week. All right, it's not just gonna be football too. Once we get other sports going and teams going, it'll be open to everybody up there. So, but for this week, for the week one Superior Auto Body Team of the Week, go to the sports page and vote. Right. I will put work on putting on a thing on the website or get somebody to put something on the website. All right, continuing some Packers chat here this morning. The Pack all had now. This has been a let's be real here. Nobody probably had Kamal Haddon on their bingo card for being somebody that we were going to talk about at training camp. Nobody. Okay, nobody had that. And he has been a pleasant surprise. He has been a nice surprise for this team this year. He's been getting a ton of opportunities at the nickel spot because of the injury to Javon Bull. All Kamal Haddon has done is ball out. He has been really good. He has been physical, point of the attack. To me, he is a lock to make the team now. It is he has been to watch. And I think when you look at where he's or where he was at the end of the season last year with that gruesome ankle injury, and to see where he's kind of been playing at this level, it's a great story. It's been a lot of fun to kind of watch him ball out this training camp and make the most of his opportunity. Because really, at the beginning of the year or at the beginning of training camp, probably didn't have him on the roster. Probably wasn't going to make it. But with his play, he has played his way on this team. Now, I don't know how long Javon Bullard is going to be out. I don't know if he's going to miss week one dealing with his injury. But if he is, I'm kind of intrigued to see Kamal Haddon get an opportunity out there and to be physical. I don't know if he'll have any shot to play on the outside because I'm sure, and I've seen some people kind of talking about that already. You know, because you look at the other cornerbacks, okay, it's Cisse and then it's Nixon and St. Just and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if they would give Kamal Haddon an opportunity to play on the outside. You look at the depth chart right now, and he's just listed as a nickel back slot corner. So I just I don't I don't think we'll be able to see everybody's kind of like, "Oh, man, it'd be nice to maybe if he's playing that well, can we try him on the outside?" Right? But I don't think it's in the cards here. But give that guy a ton of credit. He has been playing really well. And Keyshawn Nixon, from all accounts, for everything that we have said about him and criticized him and critiqued him, the guy had a good practice yesterday. From all accounts, it looks like he had a really good practice yesterday. It's just the big thing with Keyshawn, I think, going forward is, all right, dude, can you do that in a regular season? Can you do that when the games matter? When the game is on the line, can you do that against the Justin Jeffersons, the Amon St. Browns, the Pukas or Devontaes or whoever they're going to be playing, CeeDee Lambs or the George Pickens? Can you go from start to finish and not give the impression that you're giving up on a play? I think that's one of the biggest issues that fans have is the perception, and I say perception because maybe it looks like it, but oh gosh, it sure looks like it, doesn't it? Don't give this perception, don't give this kind of look that you're giving up on some plays. And we saw that too much last year. We saw that too much. We got to see Keyshawn be more physical this year. Not to the point where he's getting penalties like he did a lot last year. We got to see him more physical in the tackling game. And we just stay on your man. Go finish the play. Stay on your man. Finish the play. I think Keyshawn is going to end up starting this season opposite of Brandon Cisse at the corner spot. But I will say that I think the leash should be short on him. If we are seeing stuff that is reminiscent to last year, with a lot of the stuff that fans and people are critiquing him about, then you got to make a move. It's hard to predict whether the Packers are going to make a trade or not, or if they're going to acquire another corner before the deadline. It's hard. I know Joey Porter Jr. is a name that is being thrown out there quite a bit. But the thing is with Joey Porter Jr. too is that he wants a new contract. And I don't know if Green Bay is going to be in a position to be able to do that right now. So that's kind of the hiccup in this situation. But I don't know if he would be a cut candidate. But if like Rasul Douglas or somebody like that all of a sudden becomes available because of cuts, I'd be intrigued with bringing him aboard, bringing in another veteran that way. So I'm not ruling out the possibility that Green Bay is going to add a corner via the waiver wire after these cuts. But I feel right now it's going to be Cisse and Nixon to open up the season, and let's cross our fingers it works well. All right. We got to take a quick break as we start to wrap up the first hour. If you're just joining in, don't forget to hit us up. Who are the players or maybe the position groups now that we are starting to wrap up training camp and starting to wrap up the preseason? Who are the players or the position groups that are maybe impressed you or you feel better about? And maybe is there somebody or a group that you feel worse about? Hit me up, 715-830-1912. We'll take a quick break. Back with more coming up after these quick words. Again, if you're watching on the video stream, apologies for doing a bunch of stuff here and there because I'm trying something new so that the video stream is up on YouTube and Facebook. So I'm toying with it on the fly here. So bear with me. I apologize. Just trying to do some new stuff on here and such. So, but hey, big thanks. Don't forget. If even if it's on Facebook, if you could ring that bell and subscribe to the YouTube page, that'd be awesome. Let's get those up there. So, all right, coming up next hour, we are going to talk some Brewers with the Brew Crew back in action tonight, looking to stay ahead of or increase their lead, maybe, or just kind of keep pace ahead of the Cubbies for first place, but in that fight for the number one overall seed in the National League. Kyle Harrison's going to be on the mound for the Brew Crew, so we'll preview that. So we've got RJ Cardinal. We're going to talk some Badgers and some college sports. Obviously, college sports has been in the news a lot here lately, so RJ will be joining us about 8:20. Also on the docket, it is a Toys and Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. So what's grinding your gears, peeps? Maybe it is with what's going on in the college world, or maybe it's just LSU in general. I mean, they feel like I feel like they're college coaches that they've hired Lane Kiffin and Wade over there. I mean, now even basketball's dabbling into it where they picked up a kid from the Boston Celtics to go back to LSU or back to the college game and go into LSU. It's a mess. And it is my Toys and Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. Is this like where has the line of amateur and pro where is that line? It's nowhere. I mean, it's even getting into the youth sports level, even further down the line. It's money, it's money, it's money. It's what drives everything. And I hate seeing what's going on between the college level and the pros. I hate it. And I really despise the fact that it's going on into the courts too. It's being decided with that. And here's the thing. I don't know how you change it now. I don't know how you fix it. I don't know how you make it better. Because once those floodgates have opened, I don't know what you can do to get back to what it was. Like, it wasn't that long ago. There was just this clear line. All right, you're a college athlete. Boom. Now you're a pro. You don't make it. You don't. I mean, it's hard to make the pro game, regardless of what sport you're in. It's hard to be a pro football player. It's hard to be a pro basketball player. I don't like what we're seeing. I hate it. Hate it. Grinds my gears, man. And I think it's going to get worse. And I think we're going to continue to see this. I don't know what you do to change it. If anybody's got any great ideas that is actually like legit and would work, hey, let me know. I'm not that I could do anything about it, but I don't have an optimistic look on this thing. That's my grind my gears. If you got anything else or you want to piggyback off of that, hey, let me know. Okay. Hit me up. 715-830-1912 or hang out in the section 105 chat. So yeah, so we'll get back to some more here coming up a little bit later on here. But yeah, a couple of you say, and definitely college sports grinds my gears right now. It's becoming unbearable to watch. Some of you said grind my gears, just LSU. So I would co-sign with that. LSU, I mean, are they turning into, all right, is LSU right now just the university because the basketball team and the football team is both doing this? Are they now the evil empire of college sports? Are they like kind of the Dodgers almost of baseball? Who would be the football version of that? Is the Cowboys the evil empire of football? I don't know if they're the evil empire. I think they're just the annoying empire. I would say it was the Chiefs, but then the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs last year. It was the Patriots with Bill and Tom. Does the NFL have an evil empire? Baseball is the Dodgers. You throw in the Yankees in there too. College, right now, I'd say it's LSU just because of what they're doing, manipulating some of this stuff. The NBA, is it still Lakers, even with LeBron not on there now? Like, who would you throw in there as the evil empire for the NFL? Or do they not have one right now? Oh, let's say good morning to Morgs. Good morning, Morgan.
How's it going, DK?
Yeah. You always change the mic, or somebody keeps moving them around.
I haven't touched it. You want me to try this one?
Nope, you're good now. I got you turned on.
You want me on all mics all the time? Whoa.
Nope.
So, glasses today?
Yeah.
Allergies or tired?
I'm just getting over a little bug. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Tuesday tussle, are you feeling like fighty today? Fighty and bitey? Are you feeling irritated because you're not feeling good?
Yeah.
Are you one of those people that gets cranky when they're sick?
Yes.
Okay. How can you tell from normal personality? You're just cranky, but you have snot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just checking.
Yes. Or if I'm wearing glasses.
Oh, I did see the glasses and I thought, because I figured something was up because you don't usually wear them unless you're miserable.
I
with
do have my
allergies.
contacts though, just because I can't stand wearing glasses. So.
Oh, see, really? When did you get glasses? What grade?
4th grade.
Yeah, see, I've had them for about as long too. I'm pretty used to them right
Yeah.
now. But I'm the opposite. Contacts start to bug me.
Oh.
I just hate not being able to wear sunglasses in the summer. So.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, Tuesday tussle time. Pick a number between 1 and 4. We're going to bring a topic up for a little friendly debate.
We'll do 3.
Should everyone be allowed to pick any 2 days off in the week? Doesn't have to be Saturday and Sunday.
Ooh. Why not?
What days would you pick if you could?
Saturday and Sunday.
You would?
Yeah.
You wouldn't parse them out and do Wednesday and Monday.
I need 2 days in a row.
Oh, you do?
Because if I just do one day, then it's like I'll have that day off, but I'm dreading the next day.
Can we all agree 3 would be best?
Oh, yeah.
You could just coast in. Now, if you could pick a day on either side of your weekend, would you take every Friday or every Monday?
Honestly, I'd probably take every Monday, but that would suck for what I do because you got to talk about football the next day.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But summer, it'd probably be every Monday.
And how ready are you for football right now on a 1 to 10? Are you maxed out or are you still we're transitioning?
Oh, 7.
Okay. Is it ever acceptable for you to lie about your age?
No.
Have you ever fudged your age for anything?
No.
Not I'm 21. I mean,
not even that. No.
Okay.
No.
Are you a night owl or an early bird?
I used to be a night owl, but now I'm just forced to be an early bird.
That's it, though. That's the key word, the F word, forced.
Yep.
If you had your own druthers, what would you be? Are you naturally a night person?
Yes.
So it's always a struggle getting up.
Yep.
Do you do the thing where you have weekends going back to your days off where you stay up and get off schedule and then you have to acclimate for 3 days?
Yep.
And it's extra miserable?
Yep. Last one.
All right, last one. Better to binge watch a series or pace it over time?
Got to binge watch it.
What was the last good binge?
Oh, gosh. I don't know, but I know the next one that's coming up.
What?
We got to wrap up Outer Banks. The new season just dropped. So.
Oh, geez. You and my kid are all over that.
Yep.
All right.
So that's it. All right. Thanks, Margs.
Anytime.
One in. We got 3 more to go. News updates. We'll be back in just a skosh. All right, second hour kicks off right now on this for Friday morning. I wish it was Friday. Tuesday morning. It is a grind my gears Tuesday morning. So, what's grinding your gears? Let me know. All right, another thing that's grinding my gears. I am trying to figure out this new video stream thing here on the fly, and I got to do it while I'm live on the air, and I just bear with me. I know there's been like some weird graphics kind of popping up and all that good stuff, but want to make it so we can have the video stream up on Facebook and on YouTube. So thank you for bearing with me and kind of just going with the flow here. So hopefully I'll get everything figured out and we'll be a master at this going forward. Spent the first hour talking some green and gold, talking some Packers. If you're just joining in, though, and you missed out, the question I'm throwing out there is, all right, we're into just a couple days left of training camp. Final preseason game coming up on Friday. Packers going to have to make some decisions when it comes to the roster. But with all training camp and with all this whole preseason, has there been a player or a position group where you feel better about or maybe you feel worse about? Who is that? Let me know. All right. Hit me up. 715-830-1912. Or you can hang out in the Section 105 chat room. So we'll get to that coming up here a little bit later on. So it is a Toys for Grind My Gears Tuesday where we have Jared saying, you know what really grinds my gears is Keyshawn Nixon acting like a true number one corner when he refuses to even tackle during a preseason game. He's clearly being outplayed by a rookie and a free agent who we just signed. I'm assuming, Jared, the free agent you're throwing out there is Benjamin St. Juste, right? That's who I would assume you're throwing out there. But yeah, I think Keyshawn grinds the gears of a lot of Packers fans. And I know that the thought out there has been, well, if he's, viewed as a 2 or 3, maybe the angst, maybe the frustration towards him wouldn't be that much. To me, though, it's not just that. It's the fact that he has been public and he has voiced that he views himself as a 1 or he wants to be a 1. So he has put that on himself. Like he's put that on himself. So you throw that out there and you say you don't want to return kicks anymore and you want to focus on corner and you want to be a number 1. You put that on yourself and you're going to open yourself up to scrutiny if it's not going to work out. And I think that's part of it here. Just my opinion. But anyways, coming up next hour, we're going to talk some Badgers. Lots to watch or talk about when it comes to the Badger world here. So RJ Cardinal will be joining us around 8:20 this morning to hit that up. Brewers, they're back at it tonight. Off day yesterday for the Brewer crew, but they'll be back at it tonight, taking on the New York Mets. 6:10 first pitch. You can listen to that game on your radio dials, 105.1 FM and 790 AM. Pre-game coverage will begin about 35 minutes prior. Kyle Harrison is on the mound here for the Brewers. So we'll see if Kyle Harrison can improve to 11-3 on the season. So Kyle Harrison obviously has been one of the bright spots, surprises of this Brewers season. No question. Right? No question. He has been a nice bright spot, a nice surprise for this Brewers team. And he, again, like Logan Henderson, this is going to be a dude that when it comes playoff time, pressure's going to be on. There's a lot riding on his shoulders, like pretty much everybody on this pitching staff, to help carry this team, to help go out there and hopefully lead the Brewers to a deep postseason run. When we look back at Kyle Harrison, his last start, though, going up against the Mariners on the 18th, went 5 innings, just 2 hits, no earned runs, struck out 8, walked a couple of batters. A nice bounce back game from his performance with the Padres. And I know, they kind of adjusted the ERA, the runs, earned runs from that game. So his ERA is still under 3. He's at a 2.84 ERA. But in that Padres game, he went 4 2/3, 10 hits, 3 earned runs, three walks, 3 strikeouts. So good to see him kind of bounce back from a little bit of an off night here. And when we look at the lineups, when we look at these two ball clubs, you got a little bit of experience with some of the Mets hitters going up against Kyle Harrison. Just a game's worth, really. And kind of looking, did he play the Mets this year? No, he did not. No, Kyle Harrison did not pitch against the Mets this year. Okay. I was just kind of if he pitched in that series or not. On the flip side, going for the Mets tonight, got a lefty, Zach Thornton. So Zach Thornton is getting the start here, and he did pitch against the Brewers back on July 21st, and he picked up a win. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks. A solid outing for him, and that was a part of a month of July that he was really good. In 3 games, he started 3 games, 2-0, 1.40 ERA. August, 4 games, 1-3 with a 3.92 ERA. He is coming off of 2 straight losses. But really, he gave up 3 earned runs against the Padres, 3 earned runs against the Braves. The game before that, August 7th, no earned runs against Pittsburgh, 3 earned runs against Miami. So really it hasn't been like throwing gas on a fire, and he's been allowing a bunch of earned runs. This is going to be, for this Brewers offense, should be a tough matchup. I would imagine even if Sal Frelick is available for this game, because it sounds like, that's what we were told. Sal Frelick was going to be called up and back with the team for this series with a lefty on the mound, probably Luis Lara getting the starts, and maybe in center field with Garrett Mitchell with that forearm, probably Jake Bauers in right. Probably going with a right-handed heavy lineup. And you got to, looking at the experience with Thornton on here too, a lot of these hitters, they just have the experience of going up against him in that game in July. So there's really not a whole lot. You're talking about like 2 at-bats, maybe 3 at-bats. And I wonder if this is going to be a game, too, maybe where we see Contreras at catcher, Sanchez DHing, maybe Yelly sitting down. Yelly doesn't have any career at-bats against him. Bauers doesn't have any career at-bats against him, but they might still keep him in that lineup because of the power aspect. And he has been hitting lefties better this year. We look at Jake Bauers and, his numbers this year, which have been really great. For a left-handed batter, though, he's been hitting better against lefties this year, which I think is really the most impressive thing. Now, most of his home runs, 17 home runs, have come against right-handed pitching. But a lot of that is probably due because he's getting more opportunities. But these are his numbers against lefties for this year. Okay. 69 games, 107 at-bats. He is hitting 280 against lefties compared to 270 against righties. He's got a on-base percentage of 376 versus left-handed pitching, 384 against righties. But his slugging, 542 versus left-handed pitching compared to 488 versus right-handed pitching. And his OPS, 918. 918 against left-handed pitching. 872 against right-handed pitching. And away games, for what it's worth, Jake Bauers has really played well on the road this year. 61 games at home, 57 games on the road. On the road, Jake Bauers has hit 301. On base of a 415. He has slugged 536, and his OPS is 951. Yeah. He's just had a really good month of August here, too. Overall, 288, 422 on base, 515 slugging, and a 937 OPS. And really, when you kind of break it down month by month, he's been pretty consistent. But post All-Star break, he's definitely jumped up in some of the numbers. Pre-All-Star overall, he was hitting 268. Now he's 280. On base is actually is up to 373 pre-All-Star, 406 after the All-Star break. Slugging is a little bit down. Pre-All-Star, he was 508. Now he's 486, but his OPS is up compared to 881 and 892. Jake Bauers, man. I think we can seriously ask the question, where would this team be without Jake Bauers' performance this year? 23 dingers, 75 RBIs, 273 average, 885 OPS. Jake Bauers is Christian Yelich right now. Jake Bauers is doing what we wanted Christian Yelich to be doing. And it's like Christian Yelich is doing what we've maybe kind of been accustomed to with Jake Bauers. It's role reversal. Really, when you think about it, numbers-wise, if we said, okay, we're at towards the end of August, name this player, 23 home runs, 75 RBIs, 273 batting average. Oh, Christian Yelich? No, Jake Bauers. He is doing exactly what we wanted and what the Brewers were hoping maybe for from Christian Yelich. So where would this team be without Jake Bauers' numbers this year? In first place? Probably not. Maybe a wild card team. But, Surveyor says Keyshawn grinds my gears so much. He's officially replaced Brandon Bostic as my most despised Packer ever. Whew. All right. All right, Packers fans, I want to hear more about Keyshawn Nixon from you. Like, how do I want to approach this? I mean, from a Q rating, Keyshawn's probably last for Packers fans. I got to think about how to phrase this a little bit. I don't want to simply ask, how do you view Keyshawn Nixon, Packers fans? That I don't want to. I want to go a little deeper in this thing. What maybe frustrates you the most about Keyshawn Nixon? Is it the talk? Is it what we see on the field? What kind of maybe frustrates you the most about Keyshawn? Think about that for a hot minute and let me know. Hit me up. All right. We got to take a quick break, but we'll be back with plenty more coming up after these quick words. Football season is here. Baseball is still going strong, and that means one thing. It is the perfect time for a tailgate, baby. Whether you're firing up the grill before kickoff or gathering with some friends for the big game, make sure you've got plenty of great food. So you should stop by Mike's Star Market and pick up everything you need for your next tailgate, including the all-important brats, because it is Wisconsin, right? Mike's Star Market, your neighborhood stop for great foods and game day grilling. Football, baseball, brats, and people you love. That's a tailgate. Head on over to Mike's Star Markets and load up. I was wondering if we were, as soon as I read Surveyor's text about Brandon Bostic, I was waiting for a comment from the one and only C-Bomb, and C-Bomb has chimed in. C-Bomb, the Brandon Bostic slander to this day grinds my gears. Do you know how much had to go wrong with that game to lose it? It wasn't just that onside kick. Honestly, half the roster and half the coaching staff should have been cut after that game, not making up for the one boneheaded play, but it was a comedy of errors, not just that one onside kick. I've gone back and forth on this. Yep. I mean, you look at the ha-ha Clinton Dix getting caught up in like that 2-point conversion, like what? And, that you had the John Ryan fake field goal thing. At the end of the day, there's a lot of things that contributed to it, but at the same time, you still got to do your job, and you still got to do it correctly, and a lot of people didn't do their job correctly in that game. But ultimately, that is the one that sealed it. Really, when you think about it, it kind of sealed the fate. That's definitely a debate that everybody's going to kind of be talking about probably for years to come. So we don't need to relive 14-15, though, okay? We're on to the 2026 Packers here, right? We're on to the 2026 Packers. But Keyshawn, all right, where are you guys at on the Keyshawn Nixon thing? For some of you that haven't given us your take on it, what did Pro Football Focus grade Keyshawn Nixon last year? Okay, 66.4, which was 40th out of 114 corners. Second most pass breakups. He was also flagged the most. He is definitely a lightning rod of a player. Just kind of read. Defensive grade, 40th among 114 qualified corners. His coverage grade, 67.8, ranked 35th among 114 qualified corners. His run defensive grade ranked 40th at the position. I'll be honest, that's a little bit that those are higher grades than I initially thought. Nixon broke up 13 passes in coverage. He also allowed, now this is a 105.2 passer rating when targeted by opposing quarterbacks. He surrendered 50 receptions in coverage. He also contributed 62 tackles or 62 solo tackles in run support and open field situations. So he was 13th in solo tackles, 16th in missed tackles, 30th in passer rating allowed, 66th in yards per reception allowed, 11.4. Yeah, second in pass breakups. That's his only top 10. Top 10 finish. 9th in coverage snaps. But, just out of curiosity, where did Carrington Valentine rank in Pro Football Focus? So Carrington, pretty similar overall grade, 65.7, which was 44th amongst 114 corners. Did he have any top 10? 54th in pass breakups? Not really. He did PFF coverage grade, 44th. Run defense grade, 59th. All right, so if we use Pro Football Focus as kind of a tool, a part of the toolbox here and looking at this, Pro Football Focus grades, grade Keyshawn a little bit better than Carrington. He allowed a 109.4 passer rating. Yikes. I mean, if you had to choose, it's probably not the greatest options, but if you had to choose between Carrington and Keyshawn, who would you roll with? You go with Keyshawn, it's the better numbers, but then um, you kind of worry about the penalty potential with him. But man, Carrington, he whiffed on some tackles last year that are still ingrained into my brain and ingrained into my mind right now. Mm, that's tough. Maybe not that tough, but surveyor said he frustrates me because he acts like a number one corner with the demands like he's some all-star. Newsflash, bucko, you're not. You were the most penalized person in the entire NFL. 14 flags, 14. You created multiple, and I actually mean multiple, boneheaded moves last year after the whistle. And yet you want to walk into Lambeau and act like you're the new hotness. Get over yourself. You're a 29-year-old number two corner that was about to be out of the league years ago had it not been for your return ability. And now you want to not do the one thing that actually made you a Pro Bowler. Get out of here with your arrogance and be a team player. Or hopefully we trade you to Vegas for a used washing machine. And surveyor says, C-Bomb, no, I will not stop the Bostic slander. Did a lot of people screw up? Yep. But he was explicitly told to block, and he didn't. C-Bomb says, if Nixon performed well, there would be no slander. Had he never opened his yap and just did what the team needed, he'd be a fan favorite. But run your mouth and run your mouth and say you're CB1 and won't return kicks when a returner is needed. That's not a team player. That brings scrutiny. I think that's part of the big thing here too. Right? I mean, that's still a big part of this is that dude was an all-pro as a returner. Okay. And without an obvious replacement to us, no, I ain't going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. That's not going to endear you to some fans. Right? That's not going to endear you to the fan base. So we've got Zach saying, good morning, everybody on YouTube. I still don't like the thought of Nixon starting. I'm worried he's going to do more bad than good. And I really don't like to say that about a player. How many penalties is he going to cost them? I think that's always going to be a concern with him, right, Zach? Until he kind of cleans up. Even in like training camp or like some of the practices I was watching when I was there. I know I mentioned this last week, but I don't know if it's technique because it sure looked like it was technique. Letting the receiver get to him, and then he's got to play a little catch up. Now, to give him a little credit, it sounded like he did better yesterday. Keeping up with Jaden Reed, doing a good job in coverage. I don't know if something clicked. Maybe it was just one day, but okay. Use yesterday, build upon it, get better. Here's the thing. This team needs Keyshawn Nixon to play at a high level this year. They need him to. And I think a lot of it is up to Keyshawn, whether he wants to or not. Go out there, ball out, be a team player. That's what we want to see from Keyshawn, isn't it? Go out there, ball out, play at a high level. All right, I got to take a quick break. Keep these comments coming, though, all right? Hit me up either on the Section 105 chats or you can hit me up on the Shoe Doctors bullpen line, 715-830-1912. We'll be back after these few words. School is back in session, and that means the family schedule is back in full swing. School drop offs, practices, games, activities, and all those miles in between, they could put plenty of wear and tear on your vehicle. Hey, before your busy fall schedule gets too crazy, make sure your vehicle is ready to go. Bring it to AJM Automotive in Eau Claire for the service and the repairs that you can count on. From routine maintenance to keeping your vehicle running right, AJM Automotive is here to help keep you and your family moving. School is back, life is busy. Make sure your vehicle is ready with the help from AJM Automotive in Eau Claire. Okay, some good conversations going on here about the Packers and Keyshawn Nixon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you want to continue to chime in on that, please feel free to do so. We were talking a little Brewers, got a little sidetracked and such, but that's okay. That's what usually happens here. But the Brewers, we were talking a little bit earlier at the beginning of the hour here. So it's a question: where would the team be kind of without Jake Bauer's offense from what we've seen so far? And Ben had chimed in a little bit earlier. He said this team's probably not in first place if it's not for Jake Bauer's, maybe competing for a wild card spot. But you're right. He's kind of flip-flopped with Christian Yelich. He is putting up numbers that we expected from Christian Yelich this year. Another texter saying Jake Bauers may not be the MVP of the team, but maybe he's been the most important in some aspects of this team. That comes from Greg. That comes from Greg on our texting line too. So, Jake Bauers has earned himself some money this offseason. He's definitely earned himself some money this now. It's such with the whole CBA thing. I don't know what contracts are going to look like. Players are still going to get paid. I don't think there's going to be a salary cap. That I'd be shocked and surprised if the players concede that. The players would have to give a ton back. I mean, a ton back. Like Major League Baseball would have to give the players like a lot of other things that they would want for the players to say yes to a salary cap. So I don't see that happening. Floors, yeah, I could see different rules when it comes to deferred money. I could see that. But it will be kind of curious to see what Jake Bauer's market is going to be next year when he's a free agent. He had this great year. But how many teams will look back at previous years and factor that into it? But we'll get down that road when we get down that road. He's been a big-time contributor for the Brewers this year. I just, you look at those numbers, and I think the thing that really stands out to me is when we're going through what he's done against left-handed pitching so far. That's really where it's been the surprising thing. And runners in scoring position too. I mean, Jake Bauers, this has been kind of a grind my gears for a lot of Brewers fans over the years, has been what has he done in terms of, runners, or what has a team done in terms of runners in scoring position? Well, Jake Bauers has hit 286. He has slugged 598, and he has an OPS of a 1.025 with runners in scoring position this year. So, all right. Maybe we get runners on. We got to hope for Jake Bauers in that lineup or in that spot in the lineup. He's actually hit better. I just like going down some of these numbers here and trying to find some interesting stuff that pops up. He's better against starters than he is relievers, numbers-wise. He's 282 against starters. Relievers, he's 260. OPS 894 compared to 873. 507 slugging compared to 497. Really want to break it down. He's actually, numbers-wise, batted better as the fifth batter in the lineup. He's a 300 hitter. 304 to be exact. And a 1.044 OPS when he's batted fifth in that lineup. Just out of curiosity, where does Terang and Cheerio go in that thing? Because Jackson and Terang have, kind of flip-flopped a lot, batting leadoff or second or even third. So Jackson Cheerio, He has actually been he's only done it a couple times, but he's hit 571 as a third hitter. Majority of the time has been first or second. He's 287 as the second batter and just 244 as the leadoff hitter. Bryce Terang as the leadoff hitter, 224. Much better as the third hitter, 276. I think this goes to conversation we've had off and on. Like, who's the better option for leadoff hitter? And we've seen it get changed quite a bit this year. If Sal Frelick was healthy and Sal Frelick was doing numbers and putting up numbers that he was doing last year, I think you have to put him as the as that guy. Just going through here. So actually, okay. Where did I want to bring something up here, but I think it's going to be a little bit. Yeah, all right, my computer just kind of froze up there. So, yeah, batting first 244, but actually leading off an inning and such. Cheerio's actually 302 when he leads off. Okay. And then Terang 244. Okay, actually, when he's batting first in the lineup, Terang is a little bit better at 273. But it's like when he's leading off a game or an inning, it goes down. Okay, interesting how they break that down a little bit further. So, all right, Brewers 6-10. Again, we've got Kyle Harrison on the mound. Kyle Harrison looking for his 11th win on the season, 10-3 with a 2.84 ERA. When you look at what Kyle Harrison has done so far this year, he's actually been worse on the road. In 9 games, he is 3-2 and a 5.01 ERA. This might be something to kind of pay attention to when we get to the postseason. And they put together their rotation. We have seen this before. They may look at these numbers and say, okay, Kyle Harrison, much better. Much better on at home. So they might put together that rotation to ensure that Kyle Harrison is going to get a game at home, because he is 7-1 in 11 games at American Family Field with a 1.26 ERA. His opponent's batting average is 177. On the road in 9 games, 3-2, 5.01. And he is allowing a 278 batting average on the road. That might be something to kind of watch when we get to the postseason. Because that's going to be, they're going to look at that. And they're going to look at, okay, who's maybe better on the road, who's better at home. And we've seen that over the years with not only the Brewers, but other teams too. Maybe certain matchups, so you go up against lineups. Yeah. So if the Brewers have home field, I think right now you'd probably like, okay, we got to make sure Harrison's probably going to get the second start behind Mizorowski. If you just look at those numbers. If we look at, I'm curious now, let me look at Logan Henderson's road and away numbers here really quick before I got to take a quick break. Logan Henderson away. Actually, okay, yeah. Logan Henderson in 6 games at American Family Field, he's 4-0 with a 2.25 ERA, but on the road in 7 games, he still has 4-2 with a 2.89. So, yeah, it kind of seems like that rotation would probably be Miz, Harrison, and then you probably, if you got a road game, you're probably going to put Logan Henderson out there. What's Dustin May done so far this year? Just out of curiosity, too. So Dustin May, Dustin May's been better at home, too. But 3.93 ERA at home and away, he's been 5.59. Yeesh. Oh, wow, he's giving up a 281 batting average on the road. Yikes. Anyways, interesting numbers there. All right, we got to take a quick break, and we'll wrap up the second hour and approach halftime. We'll be right back after these few words. What's the latest and greatest going on at Hy-Vee this week? How about buy three, get one free at Jack's Pizzas? Load up the deep freezers, baby. I don't know about the rest of you, but yep, pizzas are huge in our household. How about $1.99 a pound, Sanderson Farm Fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breasts? 39-cent Hy-Vee yogurt for the 6 ounces. I mean, this is something where you got to start to think about loading up the food pantries, the freezers. The kids are going to be back at school, some meals, maybe some quick meals on the go if they got football, volleyball, cross country, golf, whatever it is. It's you're going to have to be thinking about that, or packing some school lunches too. You got $5.98 for Skippy peanut butter for a 40 ounce. All right. PB&Js are huge in my house, except for me because I can't have peanut butter. But my kid, that's what he eats almost every day for his school lunch. So you got $3.99 large size post cereal for some breakfast in the mornings too before they're off to school. So now's the time. Got to start to load up. Got to start thinking about school. Packing for school. Some of you are already back in session too. And don't forget, when you do shop at Hy-Vee, you can save at the gas pump with some perks. So if you take advantage of some of the sales, like $2 or $9.99 Hy-Vee coffee 24 count, you could save $2. $2. How about getting some M&M ice cream sandwiches? 5 cents off per gallon when you purchase that too. So check it all at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire's Facebook page, and make sure you are following the Hy-Vee and Eau Claire Facebook page, because, well, then you'll be given a heads up when they have like a one-day sale like they did yesterday. Hy-Vee one-day sale where you earn 20 cents off per gallon with every $40 purchase. Always some good stuff going on at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. All right, with just a few minutes left to the top of the hour. So coming up next hour, we're going to switch gears here a little bit. We're going to talk some Badgers. We're going to talk some college stuff with Mr. R.J. Cardinal. Good to catch up with RJ here, as the Badger football team will be kicking off their season next week, but we've had volleyball in action. I know week 0 kicks off in the college world this weekend too, so we'll get back to chatting a little bit with RJ in about 25 minutes or so. If you're just joining in and you missed maybe the first hour, we threw out the question with Packers training camp starting to wrap up this week. Final preseason game on Friday. Looking back from the beginning of training camp to where we are at right now, is there a group, a position group, or is there a player or players where maybe you feel a little bit better about? And on the flip side, is there somebody that you feel worse about? A position group that you feel worse about, or a player that you feel worse about? A popular one for the one that you've felt better about has been Trace Mack, the kicker. And I can agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. Has there been anybody else? Has there been another position group? Let me know if you have. All right. Let me know if there's somebody else that you would throw into consideration for that. We went through a lot of them in the first hour. We'll kind of revisit. I know some of you, I did post it up on my Facebook page yesterday. I'm going to try to do that now every night, because I know some of us, or I should say some of you, aren't really up and at it right away at 6 a.m, and you may miss the first portion of it. And I want to get your feedback. I want to get your input. So I'm going to try to do that every night. I'll post up a question and just to kind of get your input so you can still participate in the program. So we'll get back. I know some of you commented on the Facebook page too. So keep that going. Keep that going. We'll get back to more Brewers talk here too as we get set for game 1 of this 3-game series between the Brewers and the Mets. Cubs, not Dodgers, but Cubs picked up a win last night against the Diamondbacks. So inched a little bit closer to the Brewers in the standings here, but the Brewers still holding on to a 5.5 game lead, 5.5 game lead over the Cubbies. But the game, another series to watch starting tonight. I think we're at that point in time where you're starting to do a little bit of scoreboard watching. Dodgers Braves. Dodgers are going to be on the road taking on the Braves. Now, I don't know if this means a whole lot, but the Dodgers' record against teams who are 500 or better this year, they're under 500. They're 34-35. 34-35 is the Dodgers' record against teams who have a 500 or better record. The team that has the most amount of wins against teams who are 500 and better, that would be your Milwaukee Brewers. 43 and 22. 43 and 22. No other team in Major League Baseball has 40 or more wins against teams with a 500 or better record. Tampa Bay is 31 and 24. The Yankees are 29 and 29. The Red Sox are 34 and 22. Nobody in the AL Central has a winning record. The closest is actually the Twins, who are 32 and 33. The AL West, Astros, who are one game under 500, but they're 12 games above 500 in teams against with a 500 or better record. They're 32 and 20. The Braves are 38 and 28. They have a winning record against teams who are 500 or better. Maybe that comes into play with this series with the Dodgers. Phillies 31 and 34. Cubs 36-27. Padres 29 and 38. Diamondbacks 30 and 38. But the Brewers are 21 games above 500 against teams who are 500 and better. Does that tell us is that something as a Brewers fan, as a baseball fan, as when you look at it like, dang, like, are you impressed by that number? Or are you like just kind of shoulder shrug? Home, Brewers, definitely better. 45 and 24 compared to 36 and 26. Whereas the Dodgers, they're pretty even. 40 and 26 at home, 40 and 25 on the road. Same with the Cubs. Cubs are 38 and 27 at home, 38 and 29 on the road. But 43 and 22. All right. 2 in, 2 more to go. We're at halftime, peeps. News updates. We'll be back in just a skosh. Halftime's over with, kids, and we are on to the third quarter here this morning. Thanks for hanging out with us and tuning in. All right, we're doing something a little different with the video stream. We're up on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're seeing me try to play with some graphics or some different stuff out there, bear with me. I'm trying to do it on the fly here. But hey, I would love some more comments on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget to click that subscribe or follow bell on YouTube. If we consistently get more on there, I'm going to throw them up there on the stream so you guys can participate with one another. So keep those coming, all right? Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. I want to hear from you. Section 105. All right, I want to hear from you. So pitter patter, get at her. Otherwise, you can hit us up with a text on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line too at 715-830-1912. We got RJ Cardinal coming up in about 20 minutes or so. We're going to switch gears and talk a little Badgers with him as we get set for the college football season. Badger volleyball just had that. We're in action this past weekend and at the Pfizer Forum, so they're underway. So we're back to the fall sports landscape, baby. We're here. So we get to actually talk about some games and getting closer to kickoff. So RJ will be joining us here in just a little bit. Brewers are also back in action tonight. 6:10 first pitch. Kyle Harrison is on the mound for the Crew, looking for his 11th win on the season. You can listen to that game on your radio dials of 105.1 FM and 790 AM. Coverage will begin about 35 minutes prior. Packers-wise, closed practice today, the final public practice. If you want one more shot to get over there and watch it, it's tomorrow. It's a joint practice with the Cardinals. So if the kids are not in school yet, grab your bikes and maybe a Packer or maybe even a Cardinal player will ride that bike. But it's the final public practice is tomorrow, off day Thursday, and then the final preseason game of the year coming your way Friday at Lambeau Field. Jordan Love, a lot of those starters, not going to play. So, but yesterday we had an open practice, and wasn't a great day for the offense. Wasn't a great day for the offense by all the accounts out there. And I was reading a little bit from Bill Huber from SI, and he noted on here, he had the winners and losers from camp, from practice yesterday. And he said loser category, Jordan Love. But this is what he had to say. This had nothing to do with Jordan Love's performance. Instead, it was the complete chaos surrounding Love with another day of relentless pressure applied by Jonathan Gannon's defense, leaving him with few good options more often than not. His final pass of the day was a no-look check down that wasn't even close to the target, perhaps intentionally. Also listed Josh Jacobs on there and Marshawn Lloyd and the offensive line. And so we could kind of look at this and be like, okay, yeah. Defense relentless, but still some concerns with the offensive line. I like the fact that, all right, Jonathan Gannon, I don't care that it's practice. I don't care that it's training camp. Bring the noise to this group. Test this offensive line. We have heard how many times from like Aaron Rodgers, especially over the years when he was with the Packers, but we have heard over the years that these teams, these players get more out of practice instead of preseason games. Good. I'm glad that Gannon is going out there and doing this and bringing the noise on every single snap. Test these offensive linemen. Give them a beating. Because this is probably the best way to try to prepare for this upcoming season. We all know that there is questions on the offensive line. And from all of the national people out there, the national analysts, the rankings that are out there, the Packers offensive line, not a lot of the quote unquote experts are given some love or given some high expectations for this offensive line. And from a lot of you too, you're still concerned about it. So I'm happy to hear that Jonathan Gannon and this defense is bringing the noise. I just hope it's not foreshadowing what's to come this regular season for the offensive line. Because if this is what's going to happen constantly in the regular season, it's going to be a long, long season. Good test. Keep bringing it. And I just hope by default, too, it's going to be something we could count on for the defense in the regular season. But some other winners that Bill put out there. Carrington Valentine. Carrington Valentine got off to a strong start at training camp but suffered a hamstring injury. That injury opened the door for Brandon Cisse to get in the starting lineup. Valentine is back, and he's on top of his game early in practice. He broke up a deep pass from Tyrod Taylor. Later on 3rd and 3 during a 2-minute, he broke up another pass too. Lot of defensive players here for winners. Brandon Cisse, after winning 2 of 3 reps against Matthew Golden in one-on-ones, when he showed incredible patience to prevent red zone completions, Cisse, during the first play of team drills, stopped a perimeter run by Josh Jacobs. A few plays later, a perimeter pass to Golden didn't get anywhere because Cisse beat the blocker to make the stop. Benjamin St. Just was a loser because but he missed a practice with a hamstring injury. So yep, that probably opens the door mostly for Nixon to be on there. Winner, though, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, it sounded like Keyshawn Nixon had a good day at practice yesterday. And as Bill says, Nixon had by far his best day of the summer and might have clinched the starting job at corner. Nixon intercepted Jordan Love on a 4th and 10 in a 2-minute drill and denied one deep shot to Jaden Reed and 2 more to Matthew Golden. Great. Now, can you stack that success and can you keep building on that? Can you keep going? Jonathan Ford was also listed as a winner. Ford isn't going to just make the team. He's probably going to be the number one choice at nose tackle. He's taken the first snaps in both preseason games and at practice for the last couple of weeks because he's been so consistently good. He hasn't been just a 2-gapping nose tackle. He's been an honest-to-goodness playmaker. He's tied for the team lead in pressures during the preseason, according to Pro Football Focus. Baron Sorrell also listed as a winner. Bill noted that he will be the unquestioned starter opposite of Lucas Van Ness. He's going to be a solid player. There's no doubt about that. But can he be an impact player? During one period, it was starters versus starters for 9 snaps. On the first play, he chased down Josh Jacobs from the backside. On the third play, he had a good pass rush against Zebach. Zach Tom, formerly known as Zach Tom. On the 4th play, he was impossible to see what happened, but a handoff to Marshawn Lloyd ended up in Sorrell's hands. On the 9th play, 3rd and 5, he rushed up the middle and got in the face of Love to force an incompletion. Van Ness was also listed as a winner, too. All right. Can we, it's hard not to get excited about this if you're a Packers fan and you're getting ready for the season, but here's the thing. Can this happen in the regular season now? Because we've been down this path before, right? Not to be a negative Debbie Downer or anything, but we've been down this path before when it comes to training camp stuff and preseason. And man, that looks good in practice and that looks good in these preseason games. But let's see it go to the regular season here, right? A lot is being made about, and I get it, I understand it too. A lot's being made about Mike LaFleur, new head coach of the Cardinals, coming over, Matt LaFleur brothers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But nobody's really asked a question about, Jonathan Gannon's also going up against his old team, right? I mean, he's going up against his old team. Hopefully he brings maybe a little bit. I know it's just practice and it's just a preseason game, but come on. The competitors too, right? Probably wants to dial up a little bit of the extra pressure and probably wants to maybe shut down that offense. Haven't really heard a whole lot about that. But hey, today, I don't know if it's going to be this morning But, if this is your jam, the rivalry jersey that the Packers are gonna be wearing is supposed to be announced today, along with the Bears one too, because that's the game. So, if that's your jam, that's gonna be announced today. So, yes, another jersey, color, uniform, style, however you want to describe it, it's gonna be revealed today. I feel like and they did a teaser video. Was it last week, at the end of last week? And just kinda looking at it, I think you're gonna see more of the gold color. And you go back to Ed Policy's comments earlier in the offseason where he said something about paraphrasing here, but he kind of alluded to it with, the history, the fan part of it. And, you were thinking, oh, is it going to be like a cheesehead theme? Is it going to be, it can't be beer, brat? What have we always called the Packers, though? And it's been green and gold. And usually it's pretty much green and yellow, but we've always said green and gold. And the video showed a lot of gold colored bricks, yellow brick road, kind of sort of. I don't know, but it looked like the Lambeau Field bricks, but dashed in gold. So I wonder if it's going to be kind of that green that's outside of Lambeau Field and then gold, like a traditional gold. That's my guess. I don't know if it's released yet. I'm not on Twitter right now, so I don't know if it's dropped or anything like that. But if that is your jam, did did it drop? I think it did. Oh no, we don't know. So okay, I just opened up Twitter and I saw people posting stuff. So yeah. Anyways, all right, let's switch gears here. Let's take a quick break, and we're gonna switch it up and talk some college football. We're gonna talk some Badgers with Mr. RJ Cardinal. We got Badger volleyball to hit up as well. So lots to get to with RJ. Let's jump right into it. We'll take our quick break and be right back in just a couple minutes. All right. I mean, we were just talking about it, and well, maybe the leak has already been out there when it comes to the Packers alternate uniforms. And our good buddy RJ Cardinal and I were just talking about it off the air. So, like you were saying, RJ. Well, first of all, good morning, dude. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you? It's
Yeah,
been a couple of weeks.
it has been, man. It has been. So it's great to hear your voice. And I know we were going to talk some Badgers, and we will. But I mean,
Yeah.
got to get back to this. As you pointed out, maybe Fox News kind of leaked what the jersey is going to look like. And I know the article is now like removed off their website, but it's. I guess what's your thought on what the jersey, if that is in fact the jersey? You were kind of telling me a couple different things. What's your thoughts on it?
So the Fox News article has this like initial little screenshot
Mhm.
that shows the all eight. And the Packers one looks green with white numbers and like a white collar. Like the Packers collar, but like reversed. So instead of yellow, the double yellow with the white in the middle, it's double white with yellow in the middle. But then you scroll down in that article. I mean, you could before it was taken down, and the jerseys looked gray or graphite, and it had the old Lombardi BG logo on the
Mhm.
chest. So uh, it's in like since Fox has taken it down, I'm guessing one way or another, either the picture of Love and Watson is the real one, or the little screenshot one is the real one that looks like it's a promo one, because it's like the eight teams, but it looks like all their jerseys are posted in frames on like easels in front of their stadiums.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see what comes out a little later today. But I think if you happen to have a glimpse of it, or I do see there's a Reddit link posted on the YouTube chat. So if you go to that and copy and paste or right click and search that Reddit, you can kind of see what it is. And I don't know if it's a weird picture that way, because it's I don't remember seats looking like that at Lambeau, at least from where I always sit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But we'll
uh,
we'll see what happens. But they look not Packerish at all.
no, no, they don't. And I had wondered too because I know I saw it at Shields a couple weeks ago, and the pro shop was selling them when I was there last week. But they got like these cream colored helmets with kind of that old Lombardi logo on there too, and on the other side it's like a script Packers. And part of me was wondering, is that going to be the new helmet? And that was just kind of leaked out there by I don't know, but I'm curious to see what this looks
Like,
like now.
is it like the script Packers that was with the old state and player logo?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Like, see, I'm okay with these one-offs because I know people are like, "We're the Packers. We don't need to change." And I'm like, "Well, you still need to sell jerseys and stuff." So
that's what
one
it
way or
comes
another,
down
people
to.
are going to buy this stuff, and
Mhm.
it doesn't hurt anything in the long run.
No,
It's kind of like the Badgers wearing their Lambeau Field jerseys this year. Do they look cool? Kind of. Am I going to get one? Absolutely not.
yep.
Maybe buy like one of the little mini helmets with the silver W on it, but overall, probably not going to be getting a replica jersey there. But
Well,
yeah,
that you mentioned the mini helmet because that's kind of where I'm at. I know you kind of do it with helmets too, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to start maybe getting mini helmets of the different versions of it and adding that to the man cave. But that's about where as far as I'll go. I won't get a jersey or anything like that.
yeah. I mean, it's something like if there's like a cool T-shirt, and not even like the T-shirt of the jersey, but something that's representative of what the rivalry is jersey is supposed to be, and you get something with that interlocking BG logo on it, or like the I still think one of the better logos is the state with the guy in it.
Yep.
uh, so it's like one of those kind of things. Yeah, I'm more into the functional wearing, because as as much as people want to say you can wear a jersey to almost anything, you really can't.
Right. I agree. So, well, all right, let's jump into it. So before we get to Badgers, I mean, college football and even college basketball, RJ, in the last 24, 48 hours, whatever it's been, has again been in the news. I mean, we've got used to be pro athletes going back to college, and now LSU has kind of been at the forefront. I mean, Wade and Lane Kiffin really making some friends now with what they're doing.
Yeah.
What's been your reaction or your thoughts to what we've seen now here in the last 24, 48 hours?
I mean, it used to be really cut and dry. If you got an agent, you don't have eligibility anymore. If you exhaust your eligibility, you play 4 years and you had a red shirt in there, so you were there for 5. You get drafted, you can't play anymore. But I think NIL has kind of muddied that water because you can get an agent now, so you can negotiate your NIL deals and all that, and you don't have to worry about it. The agent does it. Then you have guys who play in foreign leagues, like foreign professional leagues as youth, but they're playing in a men's league and they can still enroll in colleges and things like that. I don't see how that applies to the United States. I mean, I saw one tweet that said, I'm old enough to remember a time when players used to sue to be able to leave college.
Yeah.
Now they're suing to get back in. But I mean, right now, because the NCAA dragged their feet on setting rules for NIL and assumed everybody was going to just go with what they thought, we're now dealing with college athletes who are making more than the vet minimum in the pros. So if they're going to end up being a practice squad guy, they feel they can make more money if they go back to college. And apparently, all you got to do is find the right judge and the right circuit court to put a temporary injunction on something, and then you go play. Because as we've found out in the ways of the court right now, unless it's Texas Tech and everybody's like, yeah, probably not the best look. Everybody is going to side with the athletes so far. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this kind of thing moves playing forward. But I don't agree with it. Once you're done, it also muddies the water with this new 5 for 5, and some of the guys are like, well, I only played 4. So it's just a cluster right now. And I do like the people who are like, well, now I'm done with this. And I was like, now you're done with it? Like, if this is the tipping point, you're not done with it. You're just saying that for a fact. You're still going to watch college football. You're still going to watch college sports because, quite frankly, when it comes down to it, I think at the college level, there's a little more, at least, pride in like regionalism to some extent.
Yeah.
Even though the Big Ten now goes coast to coast and whatnot, but you can still have pride in that if your teams are doing good. Because right now, when you have season football tickets here at Wisconsin down 13.1%,
wow,
very remnant, very in lockstep with how the team has been playing over the past few seasons.
Man alive. So, well, sticking with football then, RJ, I know the team's been practicing a lot the last couple of weeks here, fall camp, and we got week 0 coming up here. But, since the last time we talked to you, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks here to where we're at now, anything that you've heard, read, or listened to that has kind of jumped out to you or maybe got you a little bit optimistic for the upcoming season, or maybe on the flip side, a little bit down for the upcoming season?
Well, it sounds like the defense, for the most part, has been dominating, which I think we all probably expected with the implement of almost an entirely new personnel on the offensive side of the ball. You've only had 2 healthy running backs this fall camp, so hopefully you get at least one or two more a little healthy heading into this game. The offensive line is a big question. Two of your Haywood and Mandel, when people are asking questions about them and the staff has really no answer, probably not good whenever they're coming back, unless they're really just holding their cards close to their chest and don't want Notre Dame to know. Probably their two best offensive linemen are or are not playing. So O-line, very concerning. But that being said, the receivers room is looking good. You have a quarterback battle for backup quarterback right now. And the running back room for what it is right now seems like Abu Sama and Darian Dupree are holding their own and doing pretty darn good in camp. But I think we'll expect another good rush defense this year, hopefully with the overhaul of the DBs. We'll see improved pass defense because there was last year we had one of the better run defenses, but I think a lot of people knew, hey, we can just pass all over this team. There's no reason to run. So that was a big factor in there. But overall, defense, not really worried about. Offense, that offensive line, they are hit or miss every other day. So really need to see something there. But judging by what the reporters are saying, Colton Joseph is able to get out of trouble and make plays. So hopefully, that turns into good things and not necessarily forcing passes or anything like that. But in the scrimmage on Sunday, he was definitely being able to check down to some of his other reads, whereas one of his faults, people were saying at Old Dominion, was not being able to find anything past his number one read. So it seems that was a bit overstated because most of this camp, he's been able to get out of trouble and find open players as this is going on. So it'll be interesting to see what we see next weekend. So just biggest question, offensive line, and that's not what we want to hear.
Not at all. Not at all. Hey, really quick, I saw this on Twitter, RJ. Pete Thamel says, sources, the Big Ten is set to pass a rule today that doesn't allow players to return from the NFL and play for a Big Ten school. Anyone who has declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. So I got to imagine you like that.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And I think I know the SEC was having an emergency meeting after some of the stuff that LSU has been pulling. And I mean, I kind of want to know, because rosters are like almost set. Like everybody's in school now and all that. If you bring in a guy, who are you cutting?
Yeah.
Like, because there's roster limits now. So like you have to cut somebody from your football program, like a walk-on who maybe came to LSU to be a walk-on is about to not play college football this year. Like, has all his gear, gonna have to turn it in and all that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, good luck telling that kid you're not on the team. But I know the SEC also was having an emergency meeting, so maybe they'll come out and have something as well, because usually you don't have one conference come out and say that. That's usually, hey, we're going to meet kind of together as a whole entity, and we're going to kind of condemn this ourselves because, hey, we all know the NCAA is really trying to shoot themselves in the foot every chance they get, and they're just continuing to do it.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if this is kind of but how much is this just kind of like a Lane Kiffin thing? I mean, is it surprising that of all the coaches to kind of do this, it's Lane Kiffin and Wade over at LSU?
Yeah. And I mean, we had a couple of guys in last year's college basketball season that came back and it was ruled, hey, you can't do that. So at least college basketball figured it out, and then football's like, no, it's fine right now.
Mhm.
Like, there can't really be different rules for different sports, but I guess the NCAA didn't outline it well enough. But yeah, it should be once you're on a NFL roster or a pro sport roster, and that's what it always used to be. Because who was it? Was J.R. Smith went back to school for
Golf.
playing golf?
Yeah.
Like he had eligibility left in golf. Don't know how that happens.
Right.
But yeah, so it's one of those like people are just trying to find any advantage they can. I mean, after LSU ran off Brian Kelly, I guess Lane Kiffin probably needs to win right away
Mhm.
because he left a pretty darn good thing at Ole Miss, and whatever they decided to pay him, Ole Miss I think thought it was not real,
Mhm.
and he left with a good majority of that team. But we'll see what happens because I think they play each other in like the first 4 weeks somewhere. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I don't understand how anybody who participates in a pro league in one way or another, if you're playing minor league baseball, if you're playing in the G League, if you're playing in the NFL or put on the practice squad, there's no way, shape, or form you should be able to be back in in college athletics.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Hey, staying with the Badgers, but I mean, volleyball was in action this past weekend too at the Pfizer Forum. And I mean, you want to talk about going up against some really good competition. Kentucky, they did fall to 0-3, but then Kentucky's the third ranked team in the country. Then they swept Louisville, who is the seventh ranked team in the country. And it doesn't get any easier because, well, they're going on the opening Spike Classic, number 5 Stanford, and then number 4 Pittsburgh. So, I mean, this Badger volleyball program, we know it's one of the best programs in the country, and while they're getting some good, tough competition to open up the season here.
Yeah, so and people were like, "Oh man, they're doing this," but like I think in terms of volleyball now, you have to start being able to participate in these kind of games and put these on your schedule, and you have to get quality opponents on there. And I'm not saying the Big Ten is not, because I mean you still have uh, Penn State, you still have Nebraska, Purdue's ranked in the top 20. I think you have like 5 or 6 Big Ten schools. So you're not. It's not like your league is hurting, but having this non-conference now where you're just putting anybody on your schedule. I think it's starting to turn into one of those where you need some quality opponents on your schedule for postseason consideration in case you don't win your conference and are on a bubble team. Not saying Wisconsin will be that, but yeah, having 4 top 10 teams on your schedule to start the year. A bit of a gauntlet, but right now you're 1-1. You get out of it if 2-2. That's not bad.
Mhm.
So let's see, the only win you have is the team who's ranked 7th because you're 6th right now, and then you go up against 5 and 4. I don't know when volleyball rankings come out, but who knows? Those rankings can change by the time they play this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, right? Or Friday, something like that. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But you go 1-1 against 2 top 10 teams. That can't really fault anything for that. I know statistically, and I mean score wise, that the straight sets against Kentucky, it didn't appear they were ready, and but they still kept it close. Because let's see, I got in my car as that series was ending on Friday, and yeah, they were just going over it, and they never announced what the scores were for each set, and I'm like, geez, they got dominated. But then it was 25-20, 25, 26-24, and 25-18. So it's not like they got smoked and they played bad. So they played them close, and then yeah, when they played Louisville, it just kind of trucked them. It was more of a blowout in terms of a better, more respectable Wisconsin team showed up for that game and won in straight sets. So, yeah, nothing to be ashamed of except maybe the paper stats on game one. But yeah, it's start of the season. You're 1-1. It could have been worse.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I gotta bring up. I know we got to let you go here in a little bit, but I got to bring up hockey too because the men's hockey program announcing a couple of additions to their coaching staff. Looking at this, I mean, the big name is obviously, I think for a lot of people, is Joe Pavelski is coming on board as director of player development. But I mean, Andy Brandt, the former coach of the Capitals. So when you look at these coaches coming aboard, from your point of view, how big are these hires for this program?
Well, especially with Brandon Pavelski, both played on the '06 national championship team. And you got to love what they're doing there. And then I know it's something that the former athletic director frowned upon, even though he got his job because he was a former Badger. Having Badgers involved, it seems like top to bottom. Because, I mean, and Greg Gard, I mean, it's a little different. He's been here a long time, never really got away from including alumni. Neither has, and I mean, that's another legacy coach, neither is women's hockey. The non-revenue sports do a very good job of keeping their alumni together. And maybe with a couple of these hires, and I'm not saying Hastings didn't know to include the alumni, but some of these hires, and it's not like they're not qualified. Joe Pavelski, arguably one of the greatest U.S.-born hockey players in history. Andy Brandt, hockey career-wise, very good. If you follow, then go back and read his whole bio. A really good career in hockey. And then I think Steve, I don't know how to say it, Briere, has a good history of being a college and USHL and NHL goalie coach. So, I mean, you're bringing in three quality guys here. Two have very strong ties to Wisconsin. If they're hurting with alumni connections, Brandt and Pavelski are two really good hires that the hockey world is looking at and being like, those are home run hires for a team that just finished second in the nation at last year's Frozen Four. So it's also one of those, not a lot of roster turnover, I think, for Wisconsin this coming year. And nobody's really picking them to do anything. So really looking at it, and that's mostly the hockey publications, because I don't know too many other places that are looking at NCAA hockey and doing preseason reviews. But I didn't realize until a couple of weeks ago, the hockey season starts first week of October. They have two series back to back and then don't play again until November. So yeah, we're creeping right around the corner on college hockey starting up too, and hopefully having another good year under Mike Hastings to get Wisconsin back to that Frozen Four.
Absolutely. RJ, we covered a lot. We talked a lot. I appreciate the time. Next week, we get to preview an actual game with Wisconsin and Notre Dame, dude. So appreciate the time this morning. Good to catch up with you, buddy. And well, when that jersey leaks officially, I'm sure we'll be chatting back and forth too. So appreciate it, buddy.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it. There you go. There's RJ Cardinal joining us here this morning. We got to take a quick break. But we'll be right back after these few words. We do got to play a little catch up because we went a little long with RJ, but that's okay. That's okay. It was great stuff catching up with Mr. Cardinal here. So just in a couple minutes here, we'll take a break. So let's kind of reset everything for the final hour, the happy hour that's coming your way here in just a little bit. We'll get back to some more baseball talk as we get set for game one of this 3-game series with for the Brewers against the Mets. So we'll preview that. Kyle Harrison on the mound, looking for his 11th win in the season to improve to 11-3. So we'll talk about that. Packers, the tailgate question. The tailgate question that we threw out last night. Is there a player or a position group after all training camp, because we're wrapping up training camp this week? Is there a player or is there a position group that maybe you feel a little bit better about? Or maybe you feel worse about? If you got one, you got to probably have the other, unless you're just really down. Or maybe you're just really optimistic. But I want to hear from you, all right? Hit me up, 715-830-1912. Or, again, you can hang out in the Section 105 chat. Tried something new again with the video. So if you've been seeing me kind of tinker around with some different stuff and background music during commercial breaks and that, I got to try it on the fly here. So thanks for hanging out. And it's going to be, hopefully now we'll be on both Facebook and YouTube. But don't forget to follow that YouTube page. Hit that, ring that bell, and subscribe on the YouTube page so we can get that thing rocking and rolling here too. So, but yeah, appreciate your patience over there as I kind of work out some of the bugs on the fly here. But kind of the only tech dude for the program here. But anyways, that's kind of where we'll hit up in the next hour. Also, it is a Toys and Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. All right, it's a Toys and Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. So what in the world is grinding your gears? Get it off your chest. Come on, hit me up. Make it sports related or make it kind of funny. All right? You'll feel better about yourself. Trust me, you will after you grind your gears a little bit. Okay? So let's take that quick break as we start to wrap up the third hour, the third quarter. And we're on to the happy hour, the fourth quarter, the final quarter here. I want to hear from you in this one. All right? We'll take a quick break and be right back to wrap up the third hour. Your vehicle is more than just a way to get from one place to another. It's how you get to work. You take your kids to school, you run errands, and you get where you need to go. So when an accident or an unexpected damage puts your vehicle out of commission, trust the team at Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire. Their experienced professionals are dedicated to quality collision repairs and dependable service, helping make the repair process as smooth as possible. Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire. When you need them, they'll get you back on the road. Excuse me. Got a little flustered there because shot clocks would cut me off, and I wanted to make sure to remind you we now have the Superior Auto Body Team of the Week. All right, every Monday we'll post up some nominations for Team of the Week. You get to vote, and then on Friday we'll announce who the winner for the Team of the Week is, brought to you by our good friends from Superior Auto Body. So go to the Sports Talk Facebook page. You'll see it. You might have to scroll down just a little bit. We'll work on putting the link directly up at our website so it's a little bit easier to get to. So, but got that going on there. We got 3 nominations up there. You can make your voice heard. You can vote. Big thanks to our guy Brandenburg for helping come up with the nominations for that. And we'll have not just going to be football. It's going to be all the teams. Once we get some more teams in action and games in action, we'll definitely get some more nominations up there. All right, shot clock is going to cut me off. So the final hour, the happy hour coming your way. We got Brewers. We've got Packers. We've got Grinding My Gears Tuesday, brought to you by Toyson Ford. All right, and you, whatever else is on your mind, let us know. News updates. We'll be right back. All right, final hour. Kick it off right now on this Tuesday morning. Thanks for hanging out with us and, talking with us, chatting with us, whether it's been a text, whether it's been, comments on Facebook or whatever have you. I appreciate you, and keep them coming. Got a little sidetracked because the rivalry jerseys have dropped. All right, they have dropped, and if you saw the leak, that's what it is. I'm not even going to try to discuss or try to describe it here. I think it's a little bit of a different shade of green. I could be completely wrong. It's a greenish jersey. It's got the old GB logo back in the day right on the front chest in the corner. You've got maybe a little bit of an off-white, not straight up white, but off-white helmet. I like the thing in the collar and the inside back collar. It says the phrase "making history since 1919." If you watch the video, it's like a 44-second video with Lil Wayne I don't know if it's going to be a new song or if it's just something that he did for this, but all right. What do you think, Packers fans? If you have seen it, let me know. I gotta digest it here a little bit. I gotta digest it a little bit. I like the fact that the Lombardi GB thing is on the chest. I like that logo. I like that old school logo. All right, I gotta let it digest. First reaction, though, Packers fans, let me know. Hit me up. All right, what's your thoughts on this new rivalry jersey that Packers and Bears? Bears also dropped theirs, and they've got the George Halas. It looks like the GHS. Is that the GH logo on the chest there? Return of the Monsters, the Chicago. Okay. And these are going to be worn on, so the Packers one's going to be worn on October, the first game in October. The Bears one, it looks like they're going to wear it on Christmas versus the Packers when the Packers come over on Christmas. So, all right. Okay. I'm waiting for the Pro Shop to update and see if they've got anything and how much these are going to be going for. But I gotta let it digest here a little bit. At first blush, when I first saw these being leaked, I wasn't quite sure. It might be growing on me a little bit, and I don't know if it's just because this happens to me all the time. Like my first reaction is like, but then I kind of let it marinate, and then I just kind of, it's like a grieving process. You come to, I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. I just, yeah, it looks like a really off-white. Even the pants are like an off-white. Really different. The names on the back are a lot bigger. That font looks different, but I kind of like the helmet. I'm not going to lie. I think my favorite part of this whole thing might be the helmet outside of the GB logo on the front. So I might have to get that mini helmet to add to the man cave to go with my other helmets. Son of a gun. This is what they want, right? They want you to spend that extra moolah, get that extra bucks, and, well, they're going to probably get it from me over there. But speaking of Packers, who has maybe of all training camp since the end of July when training camp began, we got a couple games into the preseason. Do you feel better about a certain position group? Do you feel better about a certain player? And then on the flip side, do you feel worse? Do you not feel great about a certain group or a certain player? Let me know. Trey Smack has been the popular one from everybody, which I would agree with that. I will get on board with that. I feel better about Trey Smack. I know there's been up and down in practice, but game-wise, if we just straight up look at what he's done during these preseason games, and I know they're preseason games, but I take more out of kicking from a preseason game than I do in practice. He has the leg, which we knew, but I think what's impressed me more is how accurate those kicks have been. He ain't just squeezing him through. Barely wrapping the goalpost. Dude has been hitting him down the middle. Straight up down the middle. That to me has been what's really impressive. And it's easy to see why so many people are picking him. Because I would agree with that. Some other ones that I probably I actually do feel a little bit better about the defensive line, defensive tackles. Okay, I'm not talking about the edge rushers. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the big boys up front. The guys that we want to see, stop the run, generate some interior pressure. I actually feel a little bit better. Now, maybe I'm being a little too optimistic. I like what I've seen from Jonathan Ford at practice. I like what I'm hearing about Jonathan Ford. I like what we've been seeing from the rookie, Chris McKellen. Jonathan Hargrave is back, and he has been dominating. Devontae Wyatt is there. I feel a little bit better. Guards, on the flip side, for the offensive line, I don't feel great. I probably feel worse about that situation now. And a lot of it is just unknowns. I don't know what to expect. I mean, Aaron Banks is already banged up and working his way back. He was banged up a lot last year, and his play was below average last year. Now we got Jacob Monk, who's probably going to be a starter over Anthony Belt. Jagger Burton, I think, eventually is going to be a starter on this offensive line, but how soon? And should they just start Jagger Burton and go with the ups and downs? Because maybe the potential is higher for Burton. I think the potential is higher for Burton than maybe it is for Jacob Monk, but I think Burton eventually is going to replace Banks at the left guard spot. I mean, I feel a little bit better about Morgan. Zebach is Zebach at the right side. The guards, I don't know. Tight end depth, yeah, I feel worse about it now. I wasn't thrilled about the depth to begin with, but it's gotten worse because of the Luke Musgrave injury. Corners, it's almost evened out. I wasn't feeling great about the corners to begin with, and I'm probably still there. It's evened out because of Brandon Cisse having a great camp. Brandon Cisse and Trey Smack are probably the two rookies or the two newbies that have been great. And Cisse is clearly CB1, cornerback number 1. Kamal Haddon having a great camp. Fantastic camp. And when you he's been taking advantage of his opportunities. He's been taking, with Javon Bullard out, he has taken advantage of that nickel spot, and he has been playing red hot. So those are the two positives. I feel worse about Nixon. Carrington's banged up. Don't know really about, St. Just has been a little bit up and down, but now he's banged up with a hamstring injury. So it probably evens itself out to where I'm a little indifferent. Where are you at? Who else am I missing, though? Who else am I missing? Hit me up, 715-830-1912 on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line. Or hang out in the Section 105 chat. Okay? Send them on over. Close practice today for the green and gold for the Packers. Tomorrow, the last open practice, the last public practice. So if you want to take the kiddos before they have to go back to school, or you want to check out one practice, it's got to be tomorrow. You'll see the Arizona Cardinals coming to town. Join practice, Thursday off day, final game Friday. And then we're on to the regular season. I've been working on my roster projection, and honestly, I'm trying not to overthink it too much because I still think 49, 50, 51 players, they already got the majority, wide majority. There might be just a couple spots left. Anthony Campbell, though, he continues. Yesterday, he had another solid day. He is making it very difficult for the Packers to maybe move on from him, or I wouldn't say move on, but put him on waivers and put him out there for another team to claim him. I think this is going to be a big week. I think he is one of those guys that if he balls out in these joint practices and he balls out on Friday, he might clinch a spot. Number 60. Watch him this week. Watch him Friday night. All right. Let's take a quick break. Give me your thoughts, your reactions on these rivalry jerseys, Packers fans. Like, dislike, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm starting to like them now. Starting to like them. I keep refreshing the Pro Shop, see if they've dropped any of the swag yet. But all right, quick break. We'll be back. Let's talk some Brewers. Okay, Kyle Harrison on the mound. I want to get back to talking a little Jake Bauers too because of the season he's been having. But we'll hit that up coming up after these few words. All right, really quick before we get to some Brewers talk, a little bit more details on why the Packers' new rivalry jerseys were the theme, the theme of these jerseys. So this is from Packers.com. The rivalries uniform draws from the Packers' illustrious history, reinterpreting distinctive elements from the team's past through a contemporary design and a fresh, bold look. The jersey numbers feature an engraved treatment modeled after the intricate lettering on paper currency, reflective of the financial contributions from the fans that helped sustain the franchise over the years. So, okay, the numbers, they're currency numbers, money. A desaturated vintage green serves as the foundation of the jersey, complemented by an alabaster palette, a lot of fancy words here, reminiscent of the aged paper color of historic Packers stock certificates and accented with the team's signature gold. The interlocking GB logo on the upper left chest of the jersey and the back of the helmet is a modernized interpretation of a classic Packers logo that appeared on the Vince Lombardi era sideline and practice gear, predating the team's now iconic G. Delicate striping throughout the jersey, pants, and helmet, along with the weave pattern on the jersey fabric, echoes the ornate borders found on the Packers' stock certificates. Making history since 1919 is embroidered inside the collar, marking the Packers' founding year and enduring identity. All right, so it makes sense now. When you go back to Ed Policy's comments in the summer, kind of teasing what the jerseys were about, and kind of mention a shout out to its history, to its fans, the iconic, legendary. It's the stocks. We were like, oh, cheeseheads, brats, beer, what? Nope, stocks. We made fun. I think we even made fun, like, oh, they're going to just print stock jerseys. Well, it's got elements of the stock on there. All right. Yeah, I think I'm getting into it now. I really do. All right. Well, yeah, I'm definitely buying more into it. I think the helmet is what's getting me. Yeah. All right. Keep your thoughts coming. Let's switch gears here. We've got Brewers back in action tonight. Kyle Harrison is on the mound looking for his 11th win. And I think it's interesting with, we were kind of breaking this down a little bit earlier. But the numbers for Kyle Harrison compared to on the road and at home. And this is something I think when we get into October, when we get into playoff baseball, this is something I think the Brewers are going to look at when they kind of come up with their rotation and who gets what start. Because, and this kind of surprised me too until you really look at it here. Let me bring it back up here again. Come on, load up. There we go. All right, so Kyle Harrison, when we look at what he has done on the road compared, and this is going to be a start on the road here, but when we look at what he's done on the road compared to at home, awesome, dominating, 7-1 with a 1.26 ERA in 11 games. On the road, in 9 games, 3-2 with a 5.01 ERA. Now, maybe there's not a whole lot to do with that, but I mean, you're talking about a wide gap between a 1.26 ERA and a 5.01 ERA. He's pitched 2 more games at home than he has on the road. He'll have 1 more today on the road. But at home, in 57 innings, he's given up 36 hits, 8 earned runs, 4 home runs, 13 walks. He has struck out 78 batters. Opponent's batting average, 177. On the road in 9 games, just 41 in the third innings pitched, 47 hits, 23 earned runs, 9 home runs, 13 walks. Opponent's batting average against him, 278. Now, he's probably only got a couple more starts left until the rest of the regular season, right? He's probably only got a little bit more there. But I think this is something that the Brewers are going to look at. And if they get, home field or a home playoff series to open up, and they're able to, and if they get to a point where they can kind of, figure out who they want to start game 1, game 2, game 3, et cetera, I think you got to look at this and be like, okay, Mizorowski's going to get game 1. If it all works out, same amount of rest, et cetera, Mizorowski's going to get game 1. But if you got home field and you're looking at that, you're probably going to say, yep, Kyle Harrison, we got to make sure he starts at home. He's going to get game 2. Logan Henderson's been great. Logan Henderson has been awesome. But when you look at Logan Henderson and you compare his numbers, they're better on the road than what Kyle Harrison has been. Logan Henderson's actually been fairly consistent on the road and at home. In 6 games at home, Logan Henderson, 2.25 ERA, 4-0. On the road, 4-2 in 7 games, but a 2.89 ERA. Just out of curiosity, let me bring up the Miz. Where's he? What's his splits look like? So Miz, okay, Miz at home in 14 games, 7-1 with a 1.62 ERA. On the road, 10 games, 6-4, but a 1.75 ERA. He is actually, now this is kind of interesting. I know it's been 4 more games at home, but he's given up 10 home runs at home compared to just 3 on the road. His opponent's batting average on the road is actually better than at home, 158 compared to 144. Miz is starting game 1 regardless. And it's going to be at home. So maybe something to kind of watch tonight. If Kyle Harrison struggles a little bit, and just kind of it's going to be up for conversation. Earlier on in the program, I asked, where would this team be without Jake Bauers for what he has done so far this season? And you look at the numbers, I think Jake Bauers has been a guy he's put up Christian Yelich numbers this year. He has been Christian Yelich this year. When you look at the numbers, when you look at what he has done. Some home runs. Let me bring it. The thing is loading up here. I got too many windows opened up. But Jake Bauers, when you look at his numbers, he has been what I think we've wanted Christian Yelich to be. 23 home runs, a 273 average, and 75 RBIs. His OPS is an 885. If you weren't a Brewers fan and you were just naming off these numbers and you were to say, okay, who on the Brewers has these numbers? I think a lot of people say, oh, that's got to be Christian Yelich. It's Jake Bauers. And you look at Christian Yelich's numbers and it's like role reversal between the two. It's like Yelich is putting up numbers that you thought maybe Bauers would be putting up. 9 home runs, 44 RBIs, a 231 average. No, it's like they switch bodies. They switch souls or something, because Bauers is a career 223 hitter. And I think when you look at it, then it's like, okay, where would this team be without Jake Bauers performing at the level that he's performing at? Probably not in first. Right? I mean, probably not in first. But maybe still in the wild card chase. But thank gosh for Jake Bauers this year. Because he's been amazing for this team. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's take a quick break. Plenty more to get to, though. I want to hear from you. Hit me up with a text. Hit me up in the Section 105 comments. We'll be right back after these quick words. All right, we are back, and we got about, let's say, 25 minutes left to the top of the hour, so we're going to wrap it up with some picks towards the back end. Final call, though, if you have any Toyson Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday. If you missed it last hour, we chatted with RJ Cardinal, lots of Badgers talk and some college stuff, and I know a lot of you, I'm just kind of lumping a lot of you into the same category because it was the same thing, but a lot of you, for your Grind My Gears Tuesday, threw out there that what's happening with college sports and players who go pro and then going back to college. That's what's grinding your gears. And if you missed it, last hour there are reports that the Big Ten now trying to take some action with this. But the Big Ten, according to Pete Thamel, the ESPN College Football Insider, said that the Big Ten is set to pass a rule today that doesn't allow players to return from the NFL and play for a Big Ten school. Anyone who has declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. It is 2026. The year 2026. Didn't think we'd have to have a rule saying that, but here we are now. Or maybe the opposite side is like, man, I thought there might have been already a rule in place for that. Nope. Now it is. There you have it. And I'm sure there's going to be other conferences that are going to be involved with this. So, just saw this from Adam McCulvey. The Timber Rattlers bullpen will be stacked tonight. So if you are in Appleton, or you're going to go to, maybe you want to hop the vehicle and go check out our Timber Rattlers game, because Abner Uribe and Jojo Ramiro will begin rehab assignments. So Jojo, one of the trade acquisitions by the Brewers, came over from the Cardinals. We haven't seen him. He's been recovering from an appendectomy surgery. So we're maybe potentially going to be seeing him make his Brewers debut fairly soon. Now, when you look at what he has done so far this year, Jojo Ramiro, if not too familiar with what he has done so far this year, he's appeared in 44 games this season, 1-3, with a 3.35 ERA. The last time he pitched was July 12th against the Atlanta Braves. But just kind of looking, he had a great month of July going too. In the 6 games that he played, a 0 ERA. In 6 innings, 0 ERA. And that was coming off of a month of June that wasn't great for him. 12 games, a little over 10 innings, and he had a 6.97 ERA. But May, he was awesome. 11 games, nearly 12 innings, 0.77. April, not great. 12 innings, 12 games, 5.11 ERA. So it's been very up, down, up, down. But hopefully, being with the Brewers, he'll kind of be on that uptrend. But it's another addition to that bullpen. A guy that, when you look at his career too, I mean, he's been in the league since 2020. He originally was with the Phillies, the Philadelphia Phillies, and he spent the last few years with the Cardinals. And when he was with the Phillies in 2020, I mean, that was that shortened season. So he appeared in 12 games, 7.59 ERA. 2021 with the Phillies, 11 games, 7 ERA. And then part of the year in 2022, he only appeared in 2 games, and he had like a 13.50 ERA. Really kind of found a rhythm and resurrected his career with the Cardinals. Because in 15 games in 2022, he had a 3.77 ERA, 23 in 27 games, 3.68, 65 games in 2024 with a 3.36. Last year was pretty darn solid, 65 games, 2.07 ERA. And so far this year, 3.35. I'm excited, intrigued, curious, cautiously optimistic to see what he can do in a Brewers uniform with this Brewers staff. And you kind of look at, and we got September call-ups coming up here on the 1st here. So maybe maybe he's that guy. September 1st, you can have that extra play. Could he be an option? He's been out for a while, so it's probably not going to be as quick of a rehab like maybe Abner Uribe has. They might get a few games into it with JoJo Romero. For game 1 tonight, when we take a look at this pitching matchup between the Brewers and the Mets here. So the Brewers, they're going to be the Brewers lineup, I should say. They're going to be going up against Zach Thornton. Now, the Brewers went up against him earlier this season. Zach Thornton, so far this year, 3-4 with a 3.04 ERA. But he was awesome against the Brewers in late July 21st to be exact. He pitched 6 innings, gave up just 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, struck out a couple. And really, that was kind of his, I shouldn't say it because back up here. He's started off really well. I mean, his first appearance was back on May 20th. He got a start on the 26th of June. And then that Boston game right before he played the Brewers, he went 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs. But he's coming off of back-to-back games where he gave up 3 earned runs. The Padres, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks. The Braves, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. I think if you're the Brewers, you probably want to try to be aggressive right away. And you probably want to try to get to the bullpen right away for the Mets. It's that fine balance of being aggressive, but they're patient at the plate too. I think, if he's dialed in right away, he's not erratic. He's hitting the zone. He's hitting the corners. I think you got to be aggressive and try to put the ball in the play and try to get that pitch count up and try to get to that bullpen from the Mets. Brewers, not familiar with him the first time they went through. Probably have a better idea of how to attack him right now. Trying to see if I can. Here we go. I want to go team. Trying to do some split stats here. Hold on a second. Okay, let's go. So relief pitching. I'm just kind of curious where the Mets are at on this. Okay, the Mets actually, straight. Where's ERA though? So ERA bullpen. Mets are actually not bad. 3.71. That's 6th best in Major League Baseball. Brewers 3rd best at a 3.33. The best bullpen in baseball in terms of ERA, it looks like it's the Red Sox at a 2.90, the Yankees at a 2.97. And then it's the Brewers, Braves, Padres, Mets. All right. Hitting-wise, let's just kind of give you an idea where the Mets are at so far this year. OPS, Brewers are 7th best in Major League Baseball. The Mets, 25th. Mets have a 698 OPS. The Brewers sitting there at a 733. You want to throw in batting average? Brewers, 3rd best batting average, only behind the Rays and Dodgers. Brewers sitting there at a 254. The Mets, 24th, 236. In terms of RBIs, Brewers, 5th best. 611 runs batted in so far this year. The Mets, 23rd, 523. That's kind of where the breakdown is. All right. Let's take a quick break. We'll start to wrap up things here this morning. Final call for any topics, any suggestions? Not suggestions. Any thoughts, whether it's the new Packers rivalry uniforms or the Brewers or training camp, wrapping up here, college, Badgers. Final thoughts. Send them on over. All right. We'll wrap it up with some picks coming up after these quick words. All right, let's get to it. Let's wrap it up with some picks. Let's go to the baseball world. We got a full slate tonight. Boston taking on Miami. Red Sox, Marlins. Give me the Red Sox. We've got Tampa Bay taking on Detroit. Gonna go with Tampa Bay in this one. Colorado taking on Washington. Give me the Nationals. Houston taking on the Yankees. Houston just fired their GM yesterday. I'll go with the Yankees. We've got the Royals and the Blue Jays. Max Scherzer, Seth. I might go Royals in this one. Dodgers Braves, a really fun series. This is going to be a good one. Tyler Glasnow's on the mound. Bryce Elder for the Braves. I'm gonna go Dodgers, but go Braves. Got to help out the Brewers in this cause. So, Texas White Sox, Jacob deGrom, Anthony. I'm going to go with the Rangers with deGrom on the mound. I got the Baltimore Orioles taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Give me Baltimore today. Cleveland taking on the Angels. I'll go with the Guardians. Cubs, Diamondbacks. Cubs blanked the Diamondbacks last night, so let's go with the Diamondbacks. Twins, Athletics. Give me the Twins. Phillies, Mariners. Cal Raleigh, welcome back, dude. 3 home runs last night. They snapped Phillies' winning streak, so I will go with George Kirby on the mound. You got Aaron Nola. You know what? George Kirby bounced back. He picks up the win for the Mariners. How about that? Pittsburgh versus the Padres. Paul Skeens, Michael King. I'm going Padres. Paul Skeens, a little bit down here. Cincinnati versus San Francisco Giants. Adrian Hauser's on the mound. Brady Singer. I'm going to go with the Reds. And then finally, Brewers, Mets, Game 1, Harrison, Zach Thornton. Harrison has struggled on the road this year, but Brewers pick up the win. I know Zach Thornton had the Brewers number in their meeting in July, but I'm going to go with the Brewers. Take a Game 1 tonight. Where things stand currently after last night's game. After last night's games, we've got, still standings-wise, Tampa Bay leads the AL East. The White Sox, they are leading the Guardians. So Tampa Bay leads the Yankees by 3.5 for first place in the AL East. The White Sox, they just hold out. They're holding on to a 2.5 game lead over Cleveland. Cleveland, remember last year they made that run? Well, they're now riding a 5-game winning streak here. They're just 2.5 back from the White Sox. Minnesota, 4.5 back. Texas holding on to a 0.5 game lead over the Houston Astros for the AL West. Seattle, they're 3 back. National League, Braves. This is a big series for the Braves to hold off the surging Philadelphia Phillies. The Braves are probably ecstatic that the Mariners ended that winning streak for the Phillies yesterday, but Phillies are just 3.5 back from the Braves. Brewers holding on to a 5.5 game lead over the Cubbies. And then the Dodgers, they're holding on to a 9.5 game lead over the Padres. With the wild card, Yankees, Red Sox, they've got the top 2 in the AL. And then it's Cleveland holding on to a 0.5 game lead over the Astros. Minnesota's just 2 back from wild card spot. Toronto's 2 back. Baltimore's 2.5 back. Seattle's 3 back. And then Detroit, 4.5 back. I guess we can't count out the Royals. They have won 8 in a row. They're 8 games back from a wild card spot, though. National League, a lot of the same thing as usual. You've got the Cubbies, the Phillies as the top 2 wild card teams. Padres holding on to that 3rd one. Diamondbacks are 2 back. Marlins are 4 back. Cardinals 5 back. So that's where things currently stand here for the playoff race. So, what do we got? What do we got here? Oh, okay. Never mind. What else do we got here? So, a few texts here. All right. It looks like the majority of you like the rivalry jerseys for the Packers. I mean, nothing is going to beat the standard jerseys. I think, standard jerseys, the regular jerseys, home and away, nothing's going to beat them. I'm talking just Green Bay here. Nothing's going to beat them. For a once-in-a-while thing, it's not bad. It's not bad. As a full-time thing, no. And honestly, I don't feel, at least during my lifetime, now I could be completely wrong. I I don't feel like Green Bay's ever gonna change their uniforms, ever gonna change their logo, nothing like I don't think that's ever gonna happen. That G, that ain't changing. The yellow helmets, that ain't changing. The green, I don't think I'm gonna see it in my lifetime, and I hope I'm around still for a very long time. I don't see that changing, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't. So for a once in a while thing, I know people are like, kind of pooping on it and ugh, yuck, whatever, So it's just one game. And yeah, it's all about the dollar. You don't have to buy it if you don't like it. You don't have to buy a hat. You don't have to buy a jersey. You don't have to buy anything related to it. You don't have to. Some, yeah, they might be all about it. I can neither confirm nor deny that I already purchased a mini helmet for the Man Cave collection. Because I do have this thing now where yeah, I didn't think I was going to be this way. I can't afford full-size helmets. I'd like a full-size helmet collection in the Man Cave, both baseball and football, but I might have to settle for the mini ones because they're way cheaper. Although they've gone up in price a lot too. So yeah, I'm kind of guilty with this. But I was going to say that I usually get a helmet of like the ones that they have worn. So I have like the leather one, the mini one, the normal one, the whiteout one, and now I'll have this one plus another one because I just like the look of it. So I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. But anyways, there you have it. Looks like satisfied, or you're okay with it for the majority. So, all right, coming up tomorrow. It's already halfway through the week. We're making a turn tomorrow. So Wednesday, here is your homework assignment, peeps. What are we doing here? Think about your what are we doing here's and what if Wednesday. I always look forward to what if Wednesday because a lot of you have some good ones out there. So I love that. All right, I love it. Keep those coming. Think about some good what ifs. And you can start to send them on over whenever you like. I believe, I'll have to double check, but I believe we'll catch up with Ty from Slab Factory for our chat tomorrow too. So that if that is confirmed, that'll be at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So looking forward to catching up with Ty again. So, all right, shot clock's going to cut me off. For all of you that tuned in on the video stream, thanks for hanging out with me as I kind of toyed with some new settings. Hopefully we'll be in better shape tomorrow, but it will be up on Facebook and YouTube going forward. But don't forget to ring that bell and subscribe to the YouTube page if you don't mind. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. All right? Have a good rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Same place, TDS Sports Talk Studios. Same time, 6A to 10A. All right, join in on the radio dials, on the app, on your smart devices, online, or on that video stream. Chat with you all again tomorrow morning.